Hi, and welcome to HealyFit with your instructor, Jen. For more, please subscribe, like, or select notifications. Today, I have a banded Pilates practice for you where we are going to focus on the glutes. So come on down, wrap your band right above the knees around the thighs, and let's bring ourselves towards the mat with a few seated cat-to-cows. Exhale, round across the shoulders into the back. Inhale, rise and lift, crown to sits bones. Go do that a few more times, feeling the stretch across the back and then the length across the front of the body. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise up tall. Awesome. Let's take it back just a little bit. Place hands together. Scoop your belly in and back and twist lightly side to side. Good. Every time you twist, squeeze your belly lightly back towards your spine. Awesome. Bringing it back in towards the center. Let's release all the way down towards the mat. Arms reaching up overhead. And then slowly rise up and reach into that tall, elevated posture. Do that a few more times. Articulate the spine, bone by bone down to the floor. Reach up overhead. Come on up and extend. Awesome. Let's take it all the way down to the mat. Fingertips by the temples. Walk your heels in towards your hips, and let's go into some bridge work. Driving through the heels, lift your hips up from the mat, and then slowly bring your back down to the floor. Good. Try to first rock the hips in a little bit. Peel the lower back, mid-back, up between the shoulders from the mat, and then release back down. Good. Now, as you drive through the heels, a little bit of pressure against the outer edges of the band to start to activate the outer glutes. You've got 4 more. Slow elevation and slow depression back to the mat. You are doing fantastic. We've got 2 more. Last one here. Slowly release down, reach hands towards heels. And let's hold our bridge up, squeezing into the heels, driving through the glutes, open the knees out, and then bring them back in together. Good. Try to keep elevation into the hips and glutes and length into the neck. So chin is lifted up nice and tall from the chest. We still have core braced, navel back towards spine. Rolling lightly towards the outer blades of the feet as you squeeze those outer glutes and outer thighs. Fantastic. Let's hold this next one. Bring the knee in and then drive the leg out to the front. So we're still keeping that pressure into the bent knee. And then we're adding a little bit of glute pressure, kicking the leg out, and then lightly pulling it down towards the floor. Good, so we get that bottom glute as we press the heel down towards the mat, trying to stay bridged up and lifted from the mat on the other side. Keep readjusting as you need. We've got 3 more. Press outward, pull inward. Last 2. Awesome, last one. Now let's drive through just single heel. Go ahead, keeping that one leg long, one leg bent. Drive through. Now option, you can also slide that leg in, that straight leg in, and then slide back out so you get a little bit more range of motion, a little bit more elevation into the hips. Awesome. Last one. And let's slide the leg in. Readjust your band if you need to, and let's go into the other side. But before we do, heels up, bridge work. Option anytime, you can lower your heels back down to the floor, but why not get those calves in with your hamstrings and glutes? You've still got the same form along the top of the body, so head pressed into the mat, length along the neck, chest open, shoulders, backs of shoulders pressed towards the mat. Belly buttons pulled in towards the spine. We've got core activation as we squeeze into the glutes, drive through the balls of the feet. And again, light pressure, outer edges of the band. God, let's bring it up and hold it up and do that abduction again. So opening the knees out, squeezing them in together. Open and draw back in. I don't know about you, but this was about the time I had wished my air conditioner was on a little bit lower in temperature. So you may want to pause, get a little fan work going, or just keep going. We've only got a 20-minute workout today. And I know you can do this. One more. And release heels to the mat. And then draw knee in and press out. Good. So we're going with the other side now. Drawing the knee in towards you and then pressing the heel down towards the floor. Last 3. Keep your hips up as high as you can. And let's drag that leg in. Squeeze into the glutes and release back down. Good. Pressing through that bottom heel. Focusing single-sided on that work into the backside. Awesome. Let's bring both knees in. Let's slide that band. Little bicep curl. And we're going to kick the foot out and away. Go ahead. Try to keep your wrist flexed right over top of your elbow. Good. So you've got almost an isometric hold into the bicep, even as the amount of pressure changes as you kick the leg out or up. So you want to aim for about 45 degrees or lower, depending on the length and strength of the band that you are using. Drive through the heel, squeeze through the glute on the way out, and then slowly release back to your starting point. Let's switch the hand holding on. Open the leg out to the side, and then bring back towards center. Abs in, belly button pulled towards spine, so we've got that anchorage from your hips up to the crown of the head as you move the leg out and in. Go ahead, try to keep that hand that's holding your band in towards the center line, at least inside the hip line. Go ahead, squeeze into that outer glute. Almost there. And relax. All right, let's do that same sequence on the other side. Starting same hand with foot, kick away, press through the heel, drive through the glute, and then bring that leg back in. Go ahead, now double check for the next few. Make sure you've got those abs tucked in, lower back pushed towards your mat. Lengthen to the neck. Last 2. Last one, and we switch the hand grip. right leg sweeps out to the side and back in. Try to cement your body to the mat. So we're just moving along the hip line through the outer thigh, trying to keep everything else kind of cemented or stable. Fantastic. Let's move that band again. We're going to take a seat, wrap it around the calves, and come onto your side. Starting with side leg lifts, feet to the front edge of the mat, back lined up along the back edge, just lift the leg up and then pull the leg down. We want to keep a little bit of tightness into your band, but it's okay if you let it go slack a little bit. You want to feel this outer thigh, outer glute, maybe even a little bit into that outer oblique. All right, hold. And let's move forward and back. So those front back kicks, really squeeze the heel towards the back edge of the mat. Again, we're still keeping the trunk cemented. So we're moving through the leg from hips to toes while keeping everything from hips to crown nice and steady. Awesome. Let's start to roll over onto the belly, hands resting underneath the chin, toes angled out to the outer edges of your mat. You're going to fold one heel in at a time. Good. Now, as you fold the heel in, squeeze the back of the thigh into the hamstring, all the way up into the lower glute. All right, option, lift up a little bit higher, resting onto your hands or onto your fingertips. Here you've really got to squeeze your belly button in and up towards your spine. That's going to protect your low back as you continue these heel kicks in towards the glute. Fantastic. Once you've evened yourself out, bring yourself all the way to the floor. Hands are a pillow for your chin. We're going to lift the legs up, fold the heels in, kick the heels up to the ceiling, release the knees back down to the mat, and release the feet out wide. Go ahead, so fold in, kick up, release down, and all the way to the outer edges of the mat. God, you should really feel this into the glutes, keeping your abs in nice and tight to protect the low back in that elevation move. You are almost there. Fantastic. Let's flip it over to the other side. We're going to bring the feet again to the front edge of the mat, back lines up along the back edge, starting with our side kicks up and down. Last two. Go ahead, bring the leg up as high as you can. Last one, and now let's kick forward and squeeze back. Good, now try to anchor that bottom leg down towards the floor, not allowing it to move as the top leg sweeps forward to the furthest that it can, and then pulls to the furthest edge back that it can. Awesome. All right, here we are, home stretch. We're going to roll over on to our backs. We're going to take one foot, anchor it down onto the floor, and we're just going to lift that other leg up and down. This is going to target more of the front of the thigh and a little bit into your hip crease. You're going to feel that hip flexor and quadricep. Point the toes as you elevate, pull the heel down towards the floor. Keep as much length into the back of the knee as you can, and keep as much length all the way through the leg as you can. Awesome, let's switch sides. Lift and lower. Let's go for 4 more. Release. Last 2. Last 1. And let it go. All right, back to your first side. Come up onto your elbows. Let's do that move again. Abs tucked in, chest up, chin up, lift and release. Good, now anytime you could come back to your back again, especially if this is bothersome for the shoulders. But we're going to try to keep this elevation across the chest. Try to keep the abs tucked in, chin lifted from chest. Awesome, let's switch sides. One foot anchors the band, other leg lifts and lowers. Awesome, let's do 2 more on this side. And rest. Come all the way up. Lift up from the elbows, reach your hands out toward your toes. Let's stretch the backside here. From your low back down into your glutes and hamstrings. Go ahead, give those shoulders a break too. Then come on back down either to your back or again, let's take it up a notch. Good, so reverse plank with the leg lift. Try to keep the glutes elevated. Drive through the bottom leg into the heel. Almost there, almost there. And rest. Bring those hips down to the floor. Reach your hands out toward your toes. Stretch the backside. This one is killer for the hamstring that is trying to hold you in place. So that stabilizer leg. Open, open, open. Fingertips right by the hips again. Lift the hips up. Hold the abs in. You've got 2 other options. If this is not working out for you, you can come down onto the elbows or onto the back. Let's go for a few more. And rest. Hands out to toes. Stretch the backside. Good, especially on the leg that was holding you in place. Fantastic, y'all. Let's do a few more stretches, starting with this hurdler stretch. 1 leg to the front, 1 leg to the back. Lean out over the front leg. Feel the length and stretch from knee to hip on that front leg. Good, then reach up and over towards your back leg. This one's diving into the obliques, the outer edge of the trunk. Let's switch sides. Other foot forward, opposite foot back, leaning over the front leg first, feeling the stretch outer thigh into the glute. Such an awesome workout with you all today. I really appreciate you trusting me with your glute workout. Can't wait for next time. Until then, let's stretch out those obliques, reaching up and over. Going into the inner thighs, bottoms of the feet come in together. Wrap your hands around your toes, open your knees out to the sides. Light lean towards the back as you open up. Then go ahead, come into whatever seated position you prefer. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Maybe take one wrist at a time and lengthen a little bit more. Feel that stretch. Open, 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 fingertip to fingertip, and then pull it all the way in. Give yourself a big, well-deserved hug. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Hope you have an amazing day. Let's get rid of this band, yeah? Until next time, like, subscribe to let me know you want more videos like this one, and go ahead, follow me on social as well. Thank you all so much. Take care and be well.